Good afternoon. This is from the entire Trading PLC. It is an ICT consultant training, and my name is Abeba Alamu, a lecturer, computer science, and researcher and PhD candidate. Today I'm going to introduce about Python with the topics of what is Python, why we are learn or using Python, what are some of the application areas of Python, and what are the tools for using or working on the Python. The first one is a general purpose or dynamic or high level. It is Python is interpreting or scripting, or simply it is executed by line. It supports different modules and package, and which encourages the programmer to modularity and code reuses. And this Python is interpreted object-oriented, plus there's a high level programming language with dynamic semantics. Programmers, once starting to work within this Python, they fall in love because it increases the productivity that provides to them. So once I'm also suggesting or giving a recommendation to work on the Python if you want to be very flexible way of outputs. Usually, if anyone who wants to be working data science, I also encouraging or giving a suggestion to work on the Python. Why it is Python? Because it is easy to use. Anyone who has not having background in the programming or in any software engineering or software development, they can use it for its own purpose. For example, as a researcher or some data scientist can work on only parts of the libraries taking into their platform, and then they can access and work on it. The other one is expressive language. We can express as we want to our system, or for what purpose we want to use it, it can be expressed. The other one is interpret language, object-oriented, integrated to different other systems, embedded and dynamically memory allocations. Where can we use this Python? The first one is data science. Data science nowadays is having big job opportunity. So one of the tools to work for this data scientist is Python. There are big data which can be processed and giving the outputs easily within minutes or seconds using Python different libraries. Don't worry about the backgrounds of computer science or software engineering again. Here, because it is high-level programming language, simply you can call it the library and arrange your data, and immediately you have got the outputs, or for your analysis purpose or for different reporters. The only thing is you should have a good cleaned data. Even though if your data is not clean, data cleaning also can be work on the Python. We'll see it later on. Data mining, the other purpose. Desktop application. For different desktop application you can use Python. This one is, of course, you need to have some software consultants how to develop a software using programming language. You should have at least some background. Console based application, the other one. Mobile application nowadays, because different application has developed from different vendors using Android or any other programming language. One of the use of Python is to develop Python mobile application. Software development as usual. Artificial intelligence. Nowadays everything in your life there is artificial intelligence. This is also my favorite research work. I'm working on this area: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and using different libraries for given data set. so I'm using Python. I'm not working on another programming language for this artificial intelligence, because this once I'm working on it, I love it and it is very easy to me. It makes me more comfortable to work on Python for artificial intelligence. Web application, Django is one package for those who want to be web application. Enterprise application, a good example, can I give you that? Odoo ERP system. All in all, Odoo is developed with Python. It has a very fast, different modularities, flexible. You can test again Odoo different packages. It is ERP system. It has open source packets or versions, and the other one is enterprise. 3D, those one who is working in the architectures or structural design. In any case, you can use this 3D CAD or 3D models. Machine learning, above, as I have said, in artificial intelligence, for this machine learning, computer vision, speech recognition, or different NLP, all these are very, very and powerful working on the Python. I recommend you, if you want to work on the artificial intelligence or machine learning or computer vision or any other for your data manipulation or analysis, I like it to work on Python. The other concept in our today's topic is that what are the programming tools. If we want to work on the Python, there has to be a mechanism to interact with the computer. So one is for if you are a web developer, you can use Django. Graphic user interface, there are different frameworks. You can use one of them. In machine learning, there are different libraries. Again, you can work TensorFlow or PyTorch or Scikit. This is Scikit. It is a library. You can import the libraries, and in a very flexible way you can work on it. In mathematics or numerical, you can use NumPy and Pandas. As depending on your task and your problem area, you can find which library is more appropriate for your own problems solving solutions. Or if you want to be using for a certain system, you have to find which tools is appropriate for you, because Python is very, very vast programming language. There are different tools for working in Python. Anaconda, it is a very powerful distribution of the Python and R programming, of course. Those who work on scientific computing, it's simple it's a package. It is it can be manageable and deployed. PyDev, it is a Python development environment which is in as plugin in the Eclipse. If you have the idea about an Eclipse, it is integrated development environment for different programming language, just like PHP, Java, C, C++, and different programming language. One of them is this Python. To work Python in Eclipse, first of all, you have to embed the PyDev in Eclipse. Python is its own framework. It is a hybrid platform developed by JetBrains. It is integrated development environment. Jupyter-notebook, it is, again, I love it and I like it. Just like this environment, what you have seen is Jupyter, very powerful. You can work for as a text, you can work as code, and so on. I will show you just now after this concept. Spider and Tony, also another integrated development environment for Python. To work on Python, you should have to know that which library is more appropriate for your own solution, and one of them is, for example, if you are working on the machine learning, TensorFlow is a very powerful one. Panda is again a data analysis library, which is software library, the Python program language, and for data manipulation, it is powerful again to change this into CSV file, to create a graph. For all these things, this Pandas is one of them. So once we know this one, today let's see it about what is Jupyter Notebook. Let me show you this Jupyter. This is a Jupyter environment. It has different cell. This is one cell, this is another cell, this is, and so on. If you want to be just like a text, you can work as a markdown. But if you want to change this one into code, if it is a code, you can change into a code. For example, if you want to create a new Python, simply come to this find and then new, then Python 3. Now it becomes, it's load the Python in the browser. Once you have browser, simply int as a localhost, it becomes it works like this. Now if you want to write something here, for example, this introduction to Python. Oops, no, Python introduction to Python. This is, now it is in a code, but I have to change it to markdown and then run. Or if I want to make it into header parts, one header just like h1 and then run like this. If you want to make it, minimize it, you can add 2, sorry, and so on, h1, h2, h3. Do you remember it? And do you know the idea about an HTML programming language? You can work like this. But if it is code, you can do like this. For example, you can work as x is equals to 12 and y is equals to, sorry, is equals to 13, then z is equals to x plus y, and you can, this is in the code part, and simply run. There is no output, but if there is any output, as long as you are in the same notepad or notepad parts or in the same file, then simply if I call it z and then run, you will get the output here, 25, the sum. The other one is, you want to change this one untitled, you can change into give it a title. This is just like test today class for Python and so on, and rename it. Now it will be saved in the path current file python plumbing and doc. In this part today, ip1 ipynb notebook. In notebook, the Python format is py Python, but in this case there is notebook, and NB stands for notebook. And the other one, if you want to print z, I can work like this and run it. This is 25. They have the same thing. Or x is equals to, you can make it as a string. This is my name, by the way. And what will happen if I run it? Nothing there. But if I do print x, sorry, this arrow has to be cancelled out, print x, and will be part out. So in this manner, later on we'll see about different syntaxes of the Python, but for this moment I want to show this, the Jupyter-notebook. Let me show you another one. You can work on console or terminals. Let's open it. Let's stop here and come back again.